If you've ever been told that December is a dead month for planting, that the soil is resting and farmers should be too, then this episode is going to challenge everything you think you know. Today, we're uncovering indigenous planting methods that were deliberately timed for December and used to secure food through winter scarcity and into early spring. Before we go any further, subscribe to the channel and stay with us, because this knowledge didn't survive in textbooks. It survived in villages, family fields and seasonal rituals, and once you understand it, December will stop looking like an ending and start looking like a strategic beginning. Indigenous growers understood that December was not about speed, but about positioning. While modern agriculture focuses on planting when growth is visible, traditional systems focused on planting when conditions favoured root establishment, moisture retention, and microbial activity. In many regions, December soils are cooler, more stable, and less prone to evaporation. Indigenous farmers use this to their advantage, placing seeds and cuttings into the ground when stress was lowest and competition from weeds and pests was minimal. The goal was not immediate harvest, but quiet preparation beneath the surface. The first secret lies in how indigenous farmers read winter soil rather than the calendar. Instead of fixed dates, they observed soil temperature, night dew, and animal behaviour. When earthworms moved deeper and morning moisture lingered longer on the ground, it signalled that the soil was ready to receive seed without drying out. For a modern grower, this translates into testing soil by hand in early December. If it crumbles slightly but still holds shape and feels cool rather than cold, it's ready. This is the moment to plant slow-establishing crops such as garlic, onions, certain legumes, and perennial greens. These plants spend winter building roots rather than leaves, setting the stage for explosive growth when days lengthen. The second method focuses on seed protection rather than seed depth. Indigenous farmers rarely planted deep in winter. Instead, they used surface protection to control temperature. Seeds were placed shallowly and covered with organic layers like straw, leaf litter, or even woven grass mats. This insulated the soil without suffocating it. The covering trapped warmth from the ground during the day and reduced frost penetration at night. You can apply this today by planting winter crops slightly shallower than usual and mulching immediately. The mulch should be loose enough to breathe, but thick enough to buffer temperature swings. This technique is particularly effective for brassicas, spinach, and native greens that tolerate cold, but hate freeze-thaw stress. Another overlooked December technique is staggered planting within the same bed. Indigenous systems rarely relied on uniform planting. Instead, seeds were planted in small clusters or short rows spaced over several days or weeks. This protected against weather uncertainty. If an early frost damaged one planting, the next would survive. For modern application, divide your December planting into 2 or 3 sessions spaced a week apart. This works exceptionally well for peas, fava beans, and winter lettuces. It also spreads harvest timing, providing food security rather than a single success or failure point. Water management was also central to December planting strategies. Indigenous growers avoided watering heavily during winter. Instead, they planted to capture natural moisture from dew, fog, and light rains. Furrows were shaped to direct water toward roots rather than away from them. In dry winter regions, shallow basins were formed around planting areas to collect runoff. You can replicate this by slightly lowering planting rows and shaping soil gently toward the plant base. This allows moisture to settle where roots can access it without creating rot or compaction. One of the most powerful December secrets is planting for soil, not just crops. Indigenous farmers used winter planting to feed the earth itself. Cover crops and sacrificial plants were sown not for harvest, but to protect and enrich soil. Legumes fixed nitrogen during slow winter growth, while deep-rooted plants broke compacted layers. In spring, these plants were cut and left on the surface or lightly turned in. For a modern grower, planting clover, vetch or field peas in December builds fertility without fertilizers. Even on small plots or raised beds, this practice dramatically improves spring productivity. Indigenous knowledge also emphasized community planting, even at the household level. December was often a time when families planted together, sharing seed and labor. This reduced individual risk and preserved genetic diversity. Applying this today can be as simple as exchanging seeds with neighbors or planting mixed varieties in the same bed. Diversity increases resilience, especially in unpredictable winter conditions. What ties all these methods together is patience. Indigenous December planting wasn't rushed and wasn't flashy. It was quiet work done with trust in natural cycles. The results showed months later when fields greened earlier, harvest lasted longer, and hunger was avoided during lean seasons. These methods are not relics. They are systems designed for uncertainty, exactly what modern growers face today. If this guide has changed the way you see December planting, subscribe to the channel and share this episode with someone who still thinks winter is the wrong time to put seed in the ground. Farm logic exists to preserve and pass on the methods that kept people fed long before industrial agriculture. And your support keeps this knowledge alive.